Pleased to bring in our panel, Republican strategist. He's also the host of 13-Minute News Hour, Bobby Eberle, and host of the Total Financial Hour on AM 870, The Answer, Republican strategist, Arif Halaby. Gentlemen, a pleasure. Thanks for joining us here today.
Thank
you for having us.
All right, New Yorkers, surprising, maybe some say not, because a lot of folks are saying, including Stephen Miller, this is what unchecked migration does. You got a social media campaign, you got a socialist, and all of a sudden, Cuomo's out and he's in. I'm going to start with you, Arif. Mamdani has said some really crazy stuff, including the threat to arrest Netanyahu if he ever stepped foot in New York.
Yeah, besides being one of the most anti-Semitic mayors in the country, if he were to be elected, you're also looking at somebody who doesn't understand being an American. What that means is the access to open markets, to capital markets, the freedom. He literally has no idea how to run a company, let alone an organization the size of New York City. Look at Mayor Adams. He faltered quite a bit at the beginning. He seems to be getting his feet under himself now. But this is a win for David Hogg. That's really very important. The ousted DNC leader is now somebody who stands up. He gave over $300,000 to this candidate. And I think Mamdani has a lot of support between the AOC and others.
Frightening. I'll let you weigh in as well, Bobby, because some of the things that he promised, he can't even do. He can't have free buses. That's MTA. He can't do some of the stuff he wants. You know, he wants to freeze rent and have grocery stores that are open and free daycare. I mean, someone pays for all of this, of course. But the fact that we have a city here, some say New York is over and people are going to flee. The ripple effect is businesses will leave. The housing market's going to be affected. And if socialism can be there in New York City, what about other places that could actually have a ripple effect across our nation?
Well, exactly. I agree with Arif. I mean, this is just a reaffirmation of David Hogg, who the Democrat National Committee ousted. You know, he was elected and they ousted him because they need to be more centrist. And all of a sudden you have this election. But this is, you know, just another example of these blue cities. Remember how terrible Lori Lightfoot was? They needed to get rid of her. So in that effort to get rid of her, you think maybe they'll come to some sanity? And they elect Brandon Johnson, who's just way worse. And now you go from this, where Eric Adams had some criticisms, and I agree, he's getting his feet under him, you know, maybe for self-preservation, but he's also coming out against the illegal immigration and all of those benefits for the illegals. And this guy comes out of nowhere, polling at 1% a few months ago, and takes this, and he does not represent American values. His policies, anti-capitalist, as he identifies as a Democrat socialist. You might as well just throw the first part out. He's a socialist. And when every policy, I mean, rent controls, that leads to shortages. That's just basic economics. You can't have government-run food stores. I mean, there's a reason certain food stores don't exist in certain areas. It's the economics or it's the crime. How about you fix those instead of bringing in socialist policies?
Yeah, well, his idea to fix crime is to fund the police.
Yeah, if you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, you'll always have Paul's support.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, we will see, obviously. There's Eric Adams. Cuomo may go in as an independent. You know, Pataki had a really interesting, the former governor, op-ed in the Post saying, though, they could all kind of split it, and you could have Curtis Sliwa. So it's going to be a fascinating race, no doubt. And President Trump has also weighed in, obviously, as well. But let's talk about one big, beautiful bill. President Trump told the senators no one's going to leave for vacation. The July 4th deadline is something he really wants. You know, what do you think the Senate is going to ultimately do, Arif? And the question that they make changes and the House says they're going to reject it, that's really kind of where we're at. I hope it does not come to this, specifically over things like work requirements for Medicaid.
Well, you're seeing California, for example, $8 billion upside down for its Medicaid or Medi-Cal program, same thing in California. And you're seeing organizations across the country trying to step up to meet the medical needs. There just isn't money. 1 + 1 is 2. Whether you want it to be 4 or you feel like it's 6, 1 + 1 is 2. And you're starting to see also some of the big, beautiful bill, the pieces of it, rather, start to fall apart because of the Tea Party wing and the Freedom Caucus. I understand There's a lot of yucky stuff in there. Elon Musk made it very clear he doesn't like some of the pork that's in there. But this is just the one part. We have reconciliation, then we have the other parts and other legislation to add and subtract as we need to go. Look, this is going to do a couple of things. If we can bring back 100% depreciation, I don't want to get into the weeds too much. But understand that plus lower interest rates will change the U.S. economy over the next 6 months.
You're right. And I know you have a financial show where you get into the weeds and people can really get into that. And I want to give Bobby the final, thoughts here, because here's the thing. You control the House and the Senate. You don't want to wait and not get this stuff passed. Then you need Democrat votes later. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Are you thinking July 4th can be accomplished, Bobby, in our final moments here for the big, beautiful bill?
I think this is going to come down to the wire. I mean, there's a lot of negotiations on the House side. They pushed some stuff that even Marjorie Taylor Greene said she wouldn't vote it, for with this AI control. On the flip side, they did put those work requirements in for Medicare and Medicaid, and the Senate is balking at that. SALT, I like the Senate side better than the House side. So this is negotiation to the max right here. It's going to come down to the wire. I do think something will get passed.
All right, guys, great to see you. RFM, Bobby, thank you. Great comments
Thanks
today.
All right, friends, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button above. Once you do, tell your friends, share it, spread the word about the 13-minute news hour so we can keep growing. And for more great content, check out these videos right here, and I'll see you next time.